We are back. Hi there, I am Chester Missing. Welcome to Almost News with Chester Missing. Woo! Well done to the matrics. Well done, guys. You are officially overqualified to become the DA Chief Whip. I know. And the great news is the matric results are awesome. It just went up and up and up. It's like Brian Shivambu's bank balance. The problem is that it's also a load of bullshit. The only reason the matric results look this good is because half the kids who began in grade 1 12 years ago dropped out of school. Only 1 out of 2 kids even makes it to matric. You're more likely to survive brain cancer than the South African school system. No, really, that's a real stat. So the matric pass rate is actually 40%, which the basic Minister of Education says is 78%, so now she's overvalued matric. Matric's the new Steinhoff. I mean, this is insane. The Minister of Education failed at maths while telling us how many kids failed at maths. I mean, I'd say failed squared, but the Minister of Education wouldn't freaking get it.
The traditional pass rate masks issues around early grade reading, learners being held back, some learners dropping out. So there needs to be another alternative in terms of how we examine the matric results.
The problem is that this is how inequality gets reinforced in South Africa. Remember Bantu education? Bantu education was how apartheid engineered for a white minority to ride on the hard work of black people, like an evil Mikasa, or actually just like Mikasa. You laugh. What are the other 2 guys' names? You don't know. For generations, black schools got nothing, like absolutely nothing, while white schools got the best resources. Just look at that. The school on the left taught you woodwork, the school on the right taught you maths and racism. You know what's embarrassing about that? That is not from apartheid. That's from today. Those buildings are so racist. If you put your ear on them, you can hear Helen Zille tweeting. How is that school? I mean, if our education system took a selfie, it would look like that school. It's like a turd with doors. It's embarrassing. And those are both government schools. They are both paid for by the government. 24 years into democracy, education is still deeply unequal.
There's hundreds of schools that still have no water, no electricity, no sanitation, are built from entirely inappropriate structures.
Poverty starts the day you enroll at a dysfunctional school.
Do you know there are 4,000 schools that only have pit toilets? I mean, seriously, in 2014, Michael Komape drowned in a pit toilet. Nobody at a former Model C school has ever drowned in a freaking pit toilet. The only way a white kid could die in a toilet is if he tried to take a dump at Oscar Pistorius' house. It's insane. The differences in schooling has a huge impact on our economy and our society. 80% of grade 4s can't read in any language, and 63% of matrics can't understand that stat. If you only have a grade 4, there's an 80% chance you can't read. Now, I know there are 1 or 2 success stories, but there are very few jobs for people who can't freaking read.
769, 700, listen properly.
Unemployment in South Africa is at 50% amongst these. 50%. Turn to the person sitting next to you, turn to them and ask them if they have a job. If they say yes, then it's you. South Africa is the most unequal society on earth. 10% of the people have 90% of the wealth. We need to work together to fix this. We need to treat inequality like Jacob Zuma treats Christmas.
A lovely thing about Christmas is that it is a compulsory, like a thunderstorm, and we all go through it together.
92% of top schools are previously white, and more than half of the kids at those schools are white. Apartheid, it's like herpes. It just won't go away. So, these top schools are culturally white, like there's too much water and too little Oros. Do you understand the metaphor? In there, white people are the water. That's why Helen Zille is always going, save the water, save the water. This has some crazy repercussions.
black students at this girls' school say they're being treated as if there's something wrong with their hair.
White teachers, the only time you should tell black kids what to do with their hair is if it's on fricking fire. Thanks. You would think that more black kids would go to these wealthier schools. Well, firstly, it's expensive. Secondly, they use feeder zones to block kids from poorer areas from coming. Wow, where have I seen that before?
It could just as easily, and perhaps much better, be described as a policy of good neighbourliness.
Neighbourliness, good neighbourliness. No, you're being racist. Of course, the minister is very strident about what's wrong.
What apology for what? Apology for what?
The crazy thing is that the ANC is in an alliance with the teachers' union, SADTU. So the teachers' union accepts accountability like this. SADTU even blocks us from checking if the people marking our matric paper can do matric themselves. Surely being able to do matric should be the most basic requirement for marking matric, right after having a pen and a head. I mean, this is insane, SADTU. It's like putting Pravin Gordhan in a shampoo ad. It makes absolutely no sense. The only example of an alliance member taking action against themselves was on Malusi Gigaba's cell phone. Boom! You get it? You get it? You get it? If you test a SADTU matric marker, whether they could pass matric, they're like...
Can we stop the interview, Benza? Why are they asking about this thing now?
But we need to understand how hard it is for the teachers. Imagine going to work here. I mean, wow, if you ask a teacher from a poor school, what field are you in? They take it literally. What field? The one with the cows. How do you incentivize? How do you incentivize people to work in a place where the bathroom is literally a bush? The inequality needs to end. This is Hilton College. Look at it. It has 4 waterfalls and it's its own game reserve. It's like Hogwarts with biltong. The closest poor schools have to a waterfall is freaking this. Wow. The ANC wants to give out 2,300 to 3,700, what, 23,700. Damn, I'm having a Jacob Zuma moment. They want to give out 23,700 tablets, schools tablets. Why? I mean, how is the tablet going to come with an app so you can... I mean, at least the textbooks double up its toilet paper. This is insane. I don't have all the answers, but here's what the experts say. 1, give targeted teacher support. Incentivize teachers, good teachers, to go help poor schools. Back to basics, reading. Compel the richest schools to accept poor kids. And finally, as the saying goes, teach a fish to... Bantu Holomisa says it best.
You give a poor man a fish and you feed him for a day. You teach him to fish. You give him no.